Good morning, Knicks Nation. I hope everybody is well this morning. I hope you're safe and healthy. And if you are sick, I hope you recover quickly. Special double blessings on those that are in the healthcare field who are risking their own lives to save the lives of people they don't even know. Also, blessings upon those who drive those 18-wheelers and deliver food and goods to us on a daily basis. If you recall, last year, there was a shortage for a minute. People started panicking. Shows you the importance of those guys that bring in the food. If they would have stopped driving those trucks for even a week, there'd be a lot of people in a lot of trouble. So blessings upon them as well. So apparently last night, there was a basketball game. Our Knicks played against the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm sure there are a lot of smiles in Knicks Nation this morning. They won the game, and it was not just that they won the game. It was how they won the game. This is one of those games that a year ago we would have lost. A year ago, the Knicks would have lost this game. They'd have made a comeback. They were down 15 at one point. They'd have made a run to try to come back, and they'd have come up short. They started off good, gave up the lead, made a run to come back, and it'll come up short. But no, not the Tom Thibodeau coach team that we have now, with the rebirth of one Julius Randle, which we have talked about. And I think I told y'all that there's no one guy in the NBA that can guard Julius Randle one-on-one in a low block. There's no one guy that could do it. They're gonna need double team him, which last year we know they were doing that, double and triple teaming him. And this year they began doing that as they were last year. But Julius has turned into a high IQ basketball player and a defender. And so as they try to double and triple team him this year, he's been spraying that ball out to the wings with great effectiveness. So last night, the Hawks decided, apparently their pregame strategy was to let John Collins or Clint Capella guard Julius Randle one-on-one. And I remember tweeting last night, Julius Randle, the question is, will he get 40? Because he was killing whichever one of those guys they had on him, whether it's Randle or Capella. If they were one-on-one with Julius Randle, they were getting done last night. So that didn't last long, though, and they quickly changed and went back to the strategy of doubling him. And in the beginning, the Knicks came out strong because they couldn't guard Julius Randle one-on-one. And he was going to have a big game. I don't know how much he had in the first quarter. I think he had 12 or something like that. But it was going to be a long night for them if they kept doing that. But then they started doubling him, and he started spraying the ball out. And, yeah. And the thing is that last night, right, the Knicks shot the ball terribly from three-point land. I mean, not as bad as the Toronto game. I don't want to see that again. But 33%, Julius was 0 for 5 from 3. Bullock was 0 for 2. RJ was 1 for 5. But Knox, Butter, and Quickly, IQ was combined 6 of 9. So they shot the ball pretty well. But the starters, Barrett, Bullock, Randle, they didn't shoot the ball well from three-point land at all. And we still won the game. This is a grinded out win. And I like the way they did it. They grounded out at the end, got necessary stops, made necessary buckets, especially the stops. But let's start with Julius. Julius, of course, to me, MVP, man, for the Knicks. 28 points, 17 boards, 17, and 9 assists. Now, he did have 7 turnovers, but like I said, I'm not concerned with that right now because he's passing the ball. And most of his turnovers are coming because he's looking for his teammates and just making a bad pass or they're not handling it. So that's going to get better. And as I said, the Knicks are going to continue to slowly develop and get better over the course of the year. That's the scary thing about this team. They're going to get better. Last night, they only had 8 players because pregame, apparently, Nerlens Noel had sprained his ankle in the previous game and tried to go last night, and in the warm-ups decided he couldn't go. So, he was out, sprained ankle. So their rotation was 8 guys, and we know that Obi is out, Frank is out, Alec Burke is out, Dennis Smith Jr. is out. So they went with 8-man rotation last night. And Randall played 43 minutes, and Barrett played 44 minutes, and Rivers played 33 minutes. And they did good. They did very good. Now, what I'm noticing now is from last week even to this week, they look stronger. It's like they're getting used to the grind. They're getting used to those minutes because even though, Randall did play 43 minutes, he at no point did he really look, well, there was, and let me go back. I was going to say he never looked gassed, but there was a point where the whole team looked a little sluggish. There was, because they did not play 48 minutes of good basketball. I mean, they didn't do that. They definitely played that fourth quarter good, but I'm saying they probably played a good 36 minutes of good basketball last night. But there was a time when they were looking a step slow. Everybody wasn't just all the guys were looking a step slow. But then what happened now, and this is the encouraging part, they seem to get a second win. And in that fourth quarter, none of them looked tired. RJ, Randall, Mitchell Robinson, none of them looked beat last night. And of course, we know that what I liked about what Thibodeau does last night. And Thibodeau look, man, he's one of the most, for me, one of the coaches I respect more than everybody. This is before he came to the Knicks in the NBA. But even though he's not perfect, he very rarely makes a mistake. And what he did was one of the things he did so good last night is he saw that with Butter or Rivers, with IQ and Knox and Randall and Barrett, he just kept running them. Like when he saw that was working, he kept that in and he just kept running it into the fourth quarter. And IQ played most of his minutes in the fourth quarter. He hadn't played that much prior to the fourth quarter. I don't think he played more than 2 or 3 minutes. But then the fourth quarter came and they kept him in there. Now, a lot of y'all, I'm sure, are howling this morning. Start IQ. Let's start him now. And I hear you, but I wouldn't start him yet. And the reason I wouldn't start him yet is because the Knicks now have a flow with the core, with the rotation. So it's not about whether he's better than Peyton. He is better than Peyton. Obviously, IQ is better than Peyton. And yes, he's ready to start, but I would keep Peyton in the starting lineup for now, just for the flow, because they're flowing nice. Not only that, IQ is still a rookie. You don't want to, risk. He already got hurt in the first game. You don't want that to happen. I like him coming off the bench. I know that if Peyton did get hurt, obviously IQ could start. And we won't miss a beat. Obviously, we won't miss a beat. Rivers could start. We won't miss a beat. Okay, so I would keep it just like it is right now. Don't mess with it. They're doing very well. Don't mess with the chemistry. Don't mess with the flow. That's what I'm saying to y'all. I wouldn't trade nobody. I wouldn't trade for nobody. Let these guys learn to play together and continue to play together. And you know what? Because as the season goes on, and as I said, they're going to keep getting better. They're going to be dangerous at the end of the season. They're going to be a dangerous team, So, they're right now, they are putting the NBA on notice. They are. Don't let them win against Utah this Wednesday and be 5-3. Don't let, because, the NBA we put on notice. The Knicks are coming. Right? So, It was a total grinded out win last night. Like I said, they looked gas in the third quarter, but they came back. I was very proud of how they played defense down the stretch. I love that Rivers came in, hit the big three, and then drew the offensive foul on Trae Young, who's always flopping. Trae Young is probably the biggest flopper this side of Reggie Miller I ever seen, between Reggie Miller and James Harden. And the thing is that kills me, if the refs got to know that these guys are flopping, if they know you flopping, why are you calling that, man? So, but anyway, he put that elbow out against Rivers, and Rivers flopped. And we got the offensive. So that was good. And of course, it was beautiful how IQ stripped Trae Young like he was a pickpocket, literally. Like he just slipped his hand in there and stripped her. And then I have to admit, Kevin Knox plays better when he's playing with Emmanuel Quickley. He seems to, I don't know what happens, but he seems to go to another level when Emmanuel Quickley comes in the game. So, and Kevin played a good defensive game. Kevin's been playing good defense. This whole season, Kevin Knox has been playing defense. It's now a question of, again, putting it all together. He got the defensive now. He's doing that. He's using his length. He did have a block. He would have had two, but they called the foul on the second block, but I didn't think that was a foul. But anyway, so he's going to get better as the season goes on. RJ. Look, I told you RJ is going to be a 20-point scorer this year, and I'm sticking with that. If the Knicks have a winning record going into the All-Star break, people, my man, y'all know what I'm saying. My man, another channel, my man, Nick Fan TV, he said, well, he'll be saying, hit that thumbs up button for your boys. I'm going to say this. Put that All-Star ballot in there for your boys. That's all I'm saying. Cause RJ and Julius should be on the All-Star team. If they're playing like this and we're getting close to the All-Star break, put that All-Star ballot in for your boys multiple times if you can, because they should both be on the All-Star team. Both of them. Okay. So RJ scores 26, gets 11 boards, gets 5 assists and 2 steals, stuffs the stat sheet, plays good defense. He got beat a couple times last night, but overall he's playing good defense like the rest of the team. Julius Randle, though, not only is he scoring, obviously we see he's scoring, but a couple of those rebounds were tough ones, like in the crowd, and he would snatch it out and go. And then on top of that, the interior defense with him and Mitch, they was good, man. They were good. A couple of times when Atlanta was at point blank range and they couldn't put it down because these guys wasn't letting them. And they were getting 50-50 balls last night. I'm very impressed. If you know what, for one who, like I said, I wanted to trade the boy, but I'm very impressed with Julius Randle. I'm totally shocked that he has turned himself into this type of player with the help of Thibs and crew. Thibs, you got to know Kenny Payne was involved. You got to know Mike Woodson was involved. Johnny B was involved. And they have turned this man, and with his own desire, into an all-star type player, man. It's amazing. He passes the ball. He plays defense now. I mean, he plays defense. And then, at the end, though, I have to say, Thibs might have made a slight mistake, though I understand. At the end, he took Quickley out and put Bullock in for defensive purposes. I mean, obviously, Quickley is still learning. He blew a couple of assignments last night. Made Kevin look bad on one because he blew a assignment and made Kevin look like he didn't know what he was doing, but it was really Quickley's fault. But he's still a rookie, and like I said, no matter how good you are as a rookie, NBA, the speed of the game is what it is. And on defense is really, a lot of guys get confused on that often too. And Quickley has done very well, obviously. But, so he took Quickley out and put Bullock in to seal the game. Okay, for the defense. And of course, Bullock came and played good defense, did miss one of the 2 foul shots. But, Bullock's no superstar, but he does play good defense. And that's what Thibs wanted. I might have kept Quickley in there at that point, especially the fact that Quickley don't miss no foul shots. I mean, last night, he was 6 for 6 from the line and didn't even come close to missing. I mean, automatic, like Steve Nash, like automatic. Like Steve Nash, like Mark Price, automatic. You know, like Stephen Curry, automatic. He was just automatic, man. So, yeah, I would have, might have kept him in there, but I ain't gonna question Thibs. He wanted to make sure he wins the game. And that's the end of the day. That's the thing I like about this coach. He knows how to win. He knows how to win. And he doesn't make a lot of mistakes. And it's going to be very rare when you see somebody out coaching. It's going to be very rare because this cat knows what he's doing. And of course, he was on the sidelines, man. Not only he was in the players' grill when they needed it a couple times, when they started looking sluggish and that defense was slacking off, he don't wait to call timeout a couple of times down the floor. He calls timeout right away and he gets up in them. I was looking forward to that, and I was glad to see it, man. And then of course he was all up in the referees' grill because they was doing some mess too. So Thibs wasn't having it last night, and yeah, this is fun to watch. So the next game we gotta play is Utah. Utah is good. Utah's always good. Okay, Utah's always good. So they come into town for Wednesday night, and then now. This is the thing. I do want to take one game at a time, right? But I can't help but see the schedule. So there's Utah, then there's Oklahoma City, right? There's Utah and Oklahoma City, okay? And Oklahoma City is Friday, and Utah is Wednesday, right? And then you have, after that, there's another home game. There's Utah, there's Oklahoma City. Hold on. Cause what I'm about to say, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but if they beat Utah Wednesday, right? And then we got Oklahoma City on Friday and they got Denver on Sunday. And then they're at Charlotte, the second night of a back-to-back. Okay. So we're at home for 3 games. If we beat Utah Wednesday, there's a possibility they can run the table on this one and win 4 straight. There's a possibility because Oklahoma City is led by SGA, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and he's really good, but he's pretty much all they have right now. And so that's a winnable game. Denver has not been playing defense. They have not been playing defense. All right. They really, I looked at some of their, not the game, I was looking at the highlights of the game they played. They are missing badly Jeremy Grant. They are missing him on the wing. They have Will Barton out there. And he is not Jeremy Grant defensively. And they are missing Jeremy Grant. They're a step slow defensively. And so, yeah, no, we can win that game. And then, of course, we're going to Charlotte. And Charlotte, I don't know if you realize, but Charlotte is not even starting LaMelo Ball. He's not starting. He's coming off the bench. He's playing a lot of minutes, but he's coming off the bench. They started Scary Terry and Graham. Okay. And they also having issues on the defensive end of the floor. Okay. So if we win against Utah, we really could win them next 4 games. And so that would be something, man, to come in, to go through this thing and win like 6 straight. So that's what I'm saying. This Utah game is big for us because if we win this one, it can set us off for about 3 more games after that. So, that's what we're looking for. So let's go against Utah, baby. Let's go Knicks. Have a good day. Shalom.